Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my to the third installment of my vlog series. It's now what 7:07 p.m. on June 5th at the time of this recording, um, over here in Texas. Here, um, yeah. The reason why I mention the specific time, and everything like that is because, well, I had an issue with Facebook upload, or not Facebook, YouTube, and the upload of my second vlog entry, and if not mistaken, it's still unresolved issue with the sound. Once it gets fixed, though, I mean, you'll be able to see it, so you can see that gap in the entries. But yeah, now I'm trying to stick back on the as irregular of a schedule as possible. Anyways, not a lot happened since the vlog number 2. That crash with Word, it really did a number on my workflow. For personally, personally was a huge just snag in the road, because I'm very personal, and not necessarily personal, but just like very. It's not sentimental, but just kind of like a pack rat, I guess. According to a lot of my friends call me pack rat, or just one actually specifically calls me pack rat. But what I normally do, in case I haven't explained it before formally, I do journals. They had us doing this during our final project class and over at Full Sail, like earlier this year. So like I was doing this in January and February, mostly just for our own good. I think is what they told us this assignment would be, that personal journal keeping assignment. So I did the same setup as I do to record lectures. I do audio notes supplemented with just like footnotes and text, or vice versa if I feel like writing a long time. But I've gotten heavier on the audio notes. But I've been trying to do that as regularly as possible. Now it's like almost a daily thing that I do to recap the days, and it's a very helpful tool, because seeing as how I stay cooped up in my house and don't really do a whole lot actively in the day, and yeah, it's a good way for me to keep track of my progress, and just keep track of what I've done on each day and everything like that, so I don't go nuts trying to go overhead, give myself a headache to recall every little detail of what happens every day. And it's just for reasons of trying to just being able to remember names and just stuff on my to-do list, or just funny stuff, or just stuff I find worth remembering, that I can store a database and stuff. So it's not unlike that what's one call it, the pensieve in Harry Potter, where you kind of draw memories out of your brain, to keep it from growing thin. So anything I remember, I put it down there so that it's never forgotten. I can remember what happened during this time. But yeah, so that crashed, and I lost like a week's worth of work. So slowly but surely, I've been retracing my steps and just trying to re-record as much as I can recall on what happened on each of those days. For that, because I want to do that fast enough to put it on record before it fades out of my mind. I've been doing that a lot with a bunch of stuff, just a lot of personal maintenance. But that crash, and the consistent crash with Word, and it's still been giving me problems. Has really been just a snag on plans. But I think I've rambled a little too long about that Word crashing thing, because it's just I got to do a lot of catch-up work and everything like that. But it's been a few days since the Tuesday that I did the other video, vlog entry 2. Since that Tuesday, I'm supposed to be doing them every Friday, but try to do it as regularly as possible. But yeah, so that word crash and everything like that, I've, you know, I want to catch up on everything before I back up my laptop and all the stuff I've done, and keep doing that regularly and stay on top of my to-do list, which is incredibly long. Can't read my handwriting on these notes here. Yeah, so progress has been still kind of slow for me, but I do what I can to try to stay productive. And trying to keep myself reminded of all the tips they gave us in producing class. And I'm actually thinking about revisiting all my lecture notes just so I can stockpile everything in a nice abridged document, and then I could just go down, one by one, making sure I'm covering all my bases. So yeah, progress is slow, but I'm still kind of getting back into it and trying to stay as productive as possible. Friday, the other day on Friday, actually, it was the last day of school for the kids around here, but I dropped by over at my old career campus facility over there that I used to go to in high school to visit my media tech teachers, and I just told them how things have been for me at Full Sail and everything like that, just telling them what's going on, and just passing back and forth information about how things have been going for everybody. And one of my teachers, she actually gave me some solid information about these website that would provide me with like a newsletter of everything that's going on around here. So I'm gonna give that a shot, and also try going to Craigslist. But I'm not too flexible. What did I? Okay, yeah. Anyways, sorry. So yeah, she told me about some stuff that's worth checking out around here, and got back to networking. Shot a few messages to people that I met the other work week that I had the other week about some things, some stuff that they mentioned to me that's worth checking out. There's one person she mentioned I got to try contacting, and so hopefully I hear something back soon. But getting back on track, I mean, trying to stay as productive as possible on my own, and it's kind of tough in this household environment, being stuck by myself most of the time. And I just hit the 8-minute mark, so I'm still trying to go by as fast as possible. So yeah, just been passing back and forth messages to people that I met, and as far as actual job hunting goes, I've not really been on the ball, because it's just a lot of personal stuff that I gotta take care of, and hopefully I get all that stuff wrapped up very soon, because clock is ticking. The guys that I worked with the other week over in Dallas, they just sent me a message about asking for my availability for whenever they come back, and just immediately sent them a message saying that I wasn't going to be available for those days, and told them what I had done previously so that they know where to put me now. And I haven't heard anything back from him quite yet, but I think it's solved that I got another paid gig coming up with these same guys again later down the road. In the meantime, I gotta just do what I gotta do, make sure I'm prepared with this time, and correct any mistakes that I made previously, and make sure I make the final last good impression on those guys, and hopefully that opens some doors, and I'll have some stuff already in the works as far as like steady income. Well, another thing to let you guys know is that I'm a writer. There's just one specific writing project that I've been working on since the fall. That was for school. That was not picked for production for one of the class projects, and but I managed to carry enough buzz around the class and around my peers and classmates and whatnot that encouraged me to continue trying to do work on it on the side. Um, Nothing really came through by the end of my time at Full Sail, but we used it as a template, as a basis for our final project, and we had decided that it's good enough to really seriously look into doing ourselves as in total, like an actual independent uh, film. And one of my classmates is actually doing the business portion of it, the business end of it, and I'm doing the writing. And it's kind of tough for me considering this is the first time I've actually done this kind of research. But just today, actually, I continued my research ventures. Contacted another writer, classmate, friend of mine. She was really encouraging and everything like that, and really encouraged my, writing. That I continue my personal writing talents on the side, and gave me sort of advice as far as who to go to for research. And there's another individual that I'm going to try to ask for some advice from. That he's actually more, that's the only solid person I know of that's out there that could possibly help me out. So hopefully, I get some cool advice and assistance from him. And yeah, one of the biggest drawbacks for me, that I know a lot of my other friends aren't, a lot of my other peers aren't having trouble with, is the fact that I had never gotten a driver's license ever, not even a permit or anything like that. Not even so. Don't have a way to get myself around, and I've been putting it off for far too long. And now more than ever, I need to drive. I need to be able to drive myself around. So, I haven't really taken any formal classes yet, but I'm trying to practice on the side with learning from my folks and my friends. That's one of the first things I got to get taken care of, so that I can immediately get to going out and about around this general area and work on as many productions as possible, or just try to go meet as many professionals and make as many connections and just stay active so I can get the hell out of this house and get to work. But yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of stuff for me to just kind of ramble on for these past few days. But a lot of the personal stuff. But I feel, seeing how it's due for a third entry, that I got to give you guys something. So hopefully I didn't lose too many viewers during my Microsoft Word crash rant. And again, thanks for listening in if you're still watching, and be sure to check up on me this Friday-ish for my fourth entry, and hopefully sometime soon if it hasn't already. They fixed the sound problem on my vlog number 2, and hopefully this one uploads just fine. So anyways, take it easy. Bye.